All right, Jay, tell us about the box.
Hey Anna and Burke, it's Elio from the Merino & Co. Leather Shop, and I'm really excited to be showing you the final product that each one of the Merinos had a hand in. This was a super challenging project, but very, very fun. It definitely tested each one of our creativity and resourcefulness. In the end, it didn't take too much material, but it just took a lot of understanding how leather shapes and how you can structure it, because we really had to rebuild the whole thing. As you can kind of see, I'm leaning on this box. This is a toolbox now, and it's pretty cool that I can pick it up and it holds its shape. I want to tell you about each piece that needed to be repaired, what it's like working with leather this vintage, and how to open and close it and use it and condition it and whatever you want to do with it, including maybe putting tools in it and taking it somewhere to show, because it's certainly capable of that after coming through our shop. So we'll start with how it's going to arrive. So you have the box that's strapped in. Okay, you have the lock that's locked. Obviously, you can pick it up from the handle, or you can just pick up the whole box like this, right? Whatever's most comfortable for you. These buckles and this lock are, it takes some finesse with the fingers. So I'm gonna try to kind of verbalize how I do this. So I'm gonna take the leather out. We've all, put a strap through a buckle, but this one in particular, because it's against the box, takes both fingers and you have to press on the buckle into the box, and then that tongue will pop out. Then you can take the strap out there, and it goes through these keepers up and out. So that's the first one. Again, I pull the billet end out, put my fingers against the buckle and lift, and that tongue pops out. Then I can take the billet end out, and there you have it. It's open, at least with the straps. For the locking mechanism, this might look like it needs a key, but it doesn't. This locking mechanism just slides down, and it takes a little finesse, so this might not pop open as soon as I push it down or slide it down. So you just kind of have to wiggle it a little bit. I mean, I don't know how old this hardware is, but it's well oiled, and it just need a little bit of use or finesse, like so. Okay, and so similar process to put it back in. You can see there's some pressure that you have to apply to the hardware to get it back in, and this little latch is what you see in here, is what holds this clip here. So you can push it in and it'll latch. And there it is again. If you push and it doesn't want to go in, it's because it's just a little bit off on alignment. You can just kind of finesse the box. But anyway, let's open it up and we'll show you what's inside. This is a really cool feature because the inside is layered with all new vegetable tanned leather, which is exactly what this box needed to hold the old leather together. Now, the old leather is probably vegetable tanned natural leather too, that was once this color, but over time, probably 150 years, you think, it ends up looking super dark. And so anyway, this layer of leather is all throughout the box. I think you can maybe see on camera every piece that has this light colored leather, and it's well oiled, so it's a little bit darker But the more time that goes on, the more dark it gets.
Oh, we're looking sharp.
One of the features that we added to this box, at least one that I'll start with, is these chains. And this was just a creative thing that my brothers and I were kind of sitting around thinking about, in saying we need a latch, or we need chains to hold this lid open, because it's going to have a lot of pressure on the hinge, right? The hinge is made out of leather. And so, yeah, we put these brass, antique brass, chains on it to hold your lid open so that it can stand on its own there. The other thing that we did was we removed a panel that someone had put in. I'm not sure if it was George. It doesn't seem to have been a piece that old, but it had a piece of like particle board or some kind of wood here to hold this toolbox, to hold this lid flat. And it warped a little bit, and so the lid had a misshape. What we did is we put steel bars through the lid here and sewed them in so that we would have a perfectly flat lid. And it ended up working out, so that was really neat. We also had to get additional bars to go through and sort of become the new skeleton of the toolbox, because as thick as any leather might be, it's going to fight gravity, and it's going to take a different shape. And so there is, in addition to the two pieces of metal that originally went here, we added pieces of metal on the bottom that are the new skeleton. And you can kind of see, in the camera, you can see the stitch lines, and I'll show you the bottom of the toolbox and what the skeleton looks like. But it also is a little platform for the toolbox to stand on. So the lid had a lot of pressure when we started bending the edges down to get a nice edge that goes over the toolbox. And so we had to get creative on that and take some of the old leathers and some of the metal some of the old metal that the toolbox originally had, cut it down and create corners for this lid to take shape. And when we did that, the leather started cracking naturally. It's 150-year-old leather or something like that, and it started showing cracks. And so my dad loves rawhide, and he came up with the idea to put rawhide on here because this is a material that would have existed during George Hyne's time. And so it's a very kind of original, design to hold the leather together. And you can also see there is a hole that was underneath the box here that was also patched up with rawhide. And, really there's no other way to do it other than patching the old leather with new leather or gluing it down. And it's not going to look that good because however you do it, the leather is brittle and it could fall apart and start to show its age. And so those are some of the main features. I don't think I'm missing anything. Huh?
Let's see how to close this thing.
Yeah, so let's walk through closing it. So you've already opened it. There's really nothing to. I'd just say maybe avoid slamming the lid. I don't think you would do that anyway if I didn't tell you. But you can see this side kind of it just needs a little help to get down, and you can put a little weight on it. It's a sturdy box, but as we talked about, you can start to push this down, and it should slide. It should click right in. So it's pretty simple that way. Take your strap, put it through the keeper, and I don't think you'll have as weird of an angle as I do right now, so it might be easier for you. Put it through the buckle, and it has rollers on it, but you need to you know, you need to help it a little bit when you pull up. So just pull up on it, put the tongue in the middle hole. If the leather stretches over time, I don't think it will, but you can, you know, there's an extra hole to use there. And then put it through its keeper. Same thing over here. Put it through its keeper. Help it out a little bit there. And there you go. Lift up, help the buckle into the box so you can push the tongue through the hole, and then you can put it through the keeper. So these straps will serve kind of dual purpose, helping this latch mechanism stay locked, but also keeping the lid square onto the toolbox itself. So there you have it. There's George Hyne's 1800s toolbox. This has been a really neat project for us. It taught us a lot about old leather, and it meant a lot to us that you would send this without knowing who we really are, and it was just lucky to cross paths with you guys. We hope that this piece is, you know, in your family for centuries to come, because we think it's a really cool piece of history. So if you guys ever need anything from us, you know, if the box ever starts to look a little bit dry or something and needs conditioning, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email, you know, however you want to stay in contact, and we can help you out. We can send you a conditioner or something. So thank you guys again. Looking forward to talking to you about this in real time.